Hey, my name is Steve. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to look at a strategy that I used Claude AI to generate an indicator a few weeks ago. And I also did the same experiment with ChatGPT and Gemini AI as well. But Claude actually was the better indicator at the end. Easier for coding and better results for the outcome. And no errors as well, I might add. So what I've done is I've put this indicator on the chart and had a look at it, and it seemed pretty straightforward. So I asked Claude to generate an expert advisor based on the same rules that the indicator used. So let's have a look first of all at the indicator. The indicator that we are actually using. So this one here is just a range breakout indicator, and it creates a shaded area between two time frames. Let's have a look at the actual indicator settings. I'll show you what I mean. So we've got down here between 2 and 8 a.m. broker time. We've got the actual shaded area. We can select a different color. I've just selected blue by default, and I've put extended lines from the end of the actual shaded area out to the end of the day to actually help us with the entry points when wanting to trade. So this is how it would look if you were actually trading the breakout strategy. So we can see each day we have our shaded area during the Asian session, and then at the start of the open we're looking for a breakout, and all we need is, there's a couple of ways we can do it. We can actually enter directly as the price goes over the line. Here's an example of where you might enter. You could enter here directly as the price crosses the line. Stop loss goes at the lower line in this case, so that is around 34 pips. And take profit, you can do either method for this one. You can set a stop loss, take profit of 1.5R or 2R, whatever you like. If you made this a 2R trade, we would have actually closed in profit. This one actually went for 100 pips from the breakout zone. The other entry place that you might enter is at the close of a candle above the actual breakout line. So the stop loss would be slightly higher, in this case 50 pips, and it didn't actually go for a 2R in this case. It only went for about 93. You could have held it overnight and it would have actually went up to, there's 160 pips there, so you would have actually got a 3R trade if you were willing to hold that one overnight. So your choice in the matter. With the expert advisor I created, I set it up so that it actually closes at 2200 broker time each day. So basically around this level on this candle here. So just before the market dies down at midnight broker time. Now let's actually have a look at the expert advisor, and we'll have a look, see how that one's actually performing. So this is set up on a demo account. This account was originally set up with only $10,000 as a demo if this strategy was actually profitable on the demo. And then if so, we would start using this one on a prop firm challenge. And you can see here that we've got the lines drawn on the chart. We've got our shaded areas. And in this particular example, we're actually using a shaded area, which is only the London Open. So the time slot I'm using is between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock broker time. And then we look for a breakout of the London Open in this particular case. So at the moment, we are in profit, and you can see some of the trades here. And we'll just expand some of these charts to make it easier to see. You can see here we actually had a win. We had a losing trade the day before yesterday. That was Thursday. Friday this week, so this is the weekend now. So Friday this week we had a win. On the euro dollar, let's take profit. That was actually 31 pips, and the stop loss was only 6 pips. So that was a very tight channel with the London Open. So that was actually a 5R trade that we made yesterday on that one. And the profit on that one was $726 or 4.32%. So what can happen here is we can have some winners and some losers, but the losing trades, we're actually losing 1%. We can see here, looking at some of the past days, we had a losing day here, we had a winning day, we had a losing day, we had another win, and we'll look at some of the other pairs as well. So this is EJ. This had a similar sort of setup on Friday to the Euro US dollar, and the tight channel on this is possibly because of non-farm announcements as well. So this was only 9 pips stop loss and 38 pips take profit. So that's at least a 4R trade. The day before we had a win. The day prior to that, we didn't have a trade because of this large news candle. We had this movement which was ridiculously long, like 300 pips. The day before, we actually had a loss, so that's fine. Looking at some of the other pairs, Euro US dollar actually had a loss this week. That was yesterday. It actually closed halfway through the channel, so it only lost 0.5%. We can see here how much it was, 0.53% lost. So it didn't even take a full 1% loss. Looking at GJ, this one also did well yesterday. We didn't make as much, I don't think, as let's say we've got 39 pips profit and 13 pips stop loss. So that was about a 3R trade. The day before, it looks like it was almost a break even. But even 3R trade, we ended up with 2.31% and $395 on our demo account. Going back a couple of days, we can see here we had another big win. The shaded area doesn't remain or doesn't redraw, so after a day it actually disappears. I'm guessing the stop loss on this one would have probably been 31 pips or 32 pips, and on that one was 100 pips by the looks. So as you can see, this is working with multiple pairs. Here's AJ, same thing, we had a win yesterday. Gold actually had a loss, but it was only about 0.58%. It didn't actually go far enough to hit the stop loss. And the pound dollar, that was actually a win. Let's see how big a trade this was. So that was 11 pips stop loss and 33 pips take profit. So that's a 3R trade. We got 2.41% out of that one as well. Now we actually have the total stats on this one as well. We can see here that we are actually up 81% at the moment from our 10K account. Just on yesterday, we actually with just under 13% profit because of those big wins. We can see here a breakdown of the symbols and the actual profit on each one. GJ is winning with highest factor 3.48. We've had 12 wins and 11 losses, and the wins are bigger than the losers. So this is actually what's making this a good strategy. The Aussie yen is actually placed. That's with 2.28 profit factor, $1,600. Next we had the Euro yen, EJ. That's just slightly lower, $1,400 on that one, 2.23. Then we've got the Euro US dollar, $1,086. We've got 1.68. Gold is a bit less, only 843. Pound dollar, 583. And the US 500 is also in there as well with $596. That one's had 8 wins and 17 losses, but still happened to make a profit. So I would say that this is not a very successful strategy to use on this particular pair. However, the moves seem to be fairly big, which is giving us a longer sort of a bigger win on some days. This one here we had a look at was yesterday's trade. That was actually a loss. So that one actually lost 1%, or actually slightly less, 0.9%. And we had a loss the day prior as well. And so there we've actually had 3 losing days on the US 500. Yeah. Prior to that, we had a win, another loss, another loss, another loss, more losses than wins on that one. So that kind of makes up for these stats. We can see here 8 wins and 17 losses, but still it made a profit anyway. And that's it for today's video. I'd like to hear some comments on what you think of this particular breakout strategy. And this is not my own design at all. This strategy, I did actually see these shaded areas with the breakout lines on YouTube. This is the trader that I actually saw who was actually doing this kind of thing himself, and I decided to create the same sort of indicator and also the trading bot to mimic the trading results of Ren. we can see from his actual videos that he's been showing the results of using this breakout system himself, having great success with that one as well. So a good win is making good profit using a live trading account. I think he's actually got a $50,000 live account that he's actually been trading with this one. So let me know what you think of this strategy, if you've tried something similar yourself, and what sort of results you have gotten from this experiment that you're doing. And if you can maybe drop any hints or tips for me, if you can make any suggestions, if there's any way you think that we could make this even better. I mean, I think just by that $10,000 demo account, making 80% profit over a period of, let's say it's a few months, it may actually be worthwhile. We'll see how we go with that one. All right, thanks for joining. If you like this type of content and want to see more, hit the like and subscribe. Watch out for my next video.